hooray, President Mark Kelly. Hooray, hooray, hooray. We got a presidential candidate today. We got Mark Kelly running for president. He's not definitely running for president, but that's why I want to go ahead and do this live stream and start drumming up the support, getting the word out there. Mark Kelly for president. He said a couple days ago, 2, 3 days ago, he said he is considering a run for president. So maybe by now, I don't know if he's officially announced, but let's hope that consideration goes towards the positive. Mark Kelly for president. Excuse me. Let me tell you why I want Mark Kelly for president. He's American. Main reason he's an American. He's going to get Putin out of our politics. He's going to help clean up. He'll be the American president to undo all the Putin stuff that Trump did to destroy the country for Putin. So that's the main reason I want Mark Kelly to be president, is because he's a verified American. He's super American. He's senator. He was an astronaut. He was in the military. Like, he's a lot of the American things, like blackout bingo card for the American things that people want for your president. So he's a great presidential candidate. George is here. Welcome, George. We're talking about Mark Kelly for president. How do you feel about Mark Kelly for president? Are you aware of Mark Kelly? Hey, brother, how's it going? I just wanted to apologize again. We're all human beings, brother. Yes, you're cool, dude. You're fine. You're fine. I enjoy somebody who likes to talk. So let's talk. What do you think about Mark Kelly for president? Do you know Mark Kelly? I forgot to mention one of the main things I was going to say in the video. I should start writing these things down so I don't keep forgetting what I'm going to say. So some of the things we need to talk about Mark Kelly for president. Gabby Gifford's husband. Okay, so I'll remember him once I emphasize this enough in the live. I don't need to write it down. Mark Kelly for president is Gabby Gifford's husband. Okay, Gabby Giffords was actually saved by the goddess for a greater purpose, to become First Lady of America, for instance. Gabby Giffords was actually saved by the goddess from an actual terrorist gun attack. Unlike fake-ass President Donna Kupatinsky, who was fakely saved by a fake god from a fake shooter, crisis actor, the Misser, who they killed. And they killed a fireman and a teleprompter. So there's a strong comparison, there's strong contrast between those two. Gabby Giffords was actually attacked by an actual terrorist shooting an actual gun at her actual head, versus the Misser, who was a crisis actor, a fake terrorist, a fake assassin, who did a false flag, psyop operation by shooting at a fake president, a fake American, Donna Kupatinsky. So Gabby Giffords has the real credentials from the goddess saving her life for a greater purpose that they try to give to Trump, saying that God saved his life. That didn't happen. So that's one thing. He's Gabby Giffords' husband. That brings with it his prominence in the gun control community. There's a huge movement for gun control in America, and he can be the star of that, or he is the star of that movement in a lot of ways. He's been a leader of that movement in a lot of ways. So he has that movement behind him. And now that Donna Kupatinsky murdered Alex Preddy, gun owner Alex Preddy, now that Donna Kupatinsky murdered him for owning a gun and has declared basically war on the Second Amendment and all gun owners should come over to the Democrats too. So the nice thing about Mark Kelly is he's very strong with the gun control crowd, but he can also be very strong with the gun rights crowd. So we'll have both the gun rights and the gun control movements on the side of Mark Kelly. That's a powerful ticket right there. So it's I think they're gun owners. I think Mark Kelly and Gabby Giffords are gun owners. So they're for gun rights personally. But the nice thing is, because Trump murdered Alex Preddy, because Trump did a terror attack on 2A, we should have the gun owner community coming over to Democrats anyway. And somebody like Mark Kelly can do that while not losing the gun control lobby, because he's the face of it in a lot of ways. And in that way, he's a very good person to show the compromise and the, seeing all perspectives side that we really want a real president to do. instead of only seeing one side and betraying that side. Because if you recall, Trump claimed to be a pro-gun type of president, but he's the one taking your guns. He's the one murdering gun owners. He's the one having gun owners shot in the back and then trying to make excuses for the murderers and trying to blame the gun owners, saying that having a gun makes you a terrorist. That's Trump. So Mark Kelly can be your gun owner candidate while he's a candidate for the movement for gun control. It's a brilliant move. Mark Kelly can be our president just for that, but especially if he's going to prosecute Trump. We really shouldn't be supporting anybody who's not going to prosecute Trump and all of his cronies. And I think Mark Kelly would be the one to do that, since Trump has come down on Mark Kelly personally just for telling people, rightfully, that they don't have to obey illegal orders. Now, we haven't carried that out. Everybody who kidnapped Maduro, everybody in that chain of command, obeyed illegal orders, and they should be in prison for that. But nobody's even talking about that. So we're not really holding up to the standard. We need to show people that, hey, obeying illegal orders can get you put in prison. Disobeying illegal orders makes you an American hero. Okay, so Mark Kelly's an easy win over Vladimir Putin. I don't think we're going to have Vladimir Putin. I think the impeachment process should remove Donica Putinski, Vladimir Putin, and Mike Johnson. So we'll be dealing with President Grassley at this time. If you're not aware of President Grassley, Grassley is like an 87-year-old. I don't know how old he is. He might be 92. He's pretty old. He's an elder statesman from Kansas, Nebraska, someplace like that. So President Grassley will be president if they remove Donica Putinski, Pedoff, Vladimir Putin. I got Vladimir Putin from Lysandra V Comedy, or Little Moses Mike Johnson, as the I Hit podcast ladies call him. I made up Donica Putinski. I'm still cheering for Donica Putinski as a nickname. Pedoff is better. I mean, I'm going to acknowledge Pedoff is a better nickname for Trump, but Donica Putinski gets at some other, more Epstein-related. Pedoff gets at the Epstein-related stuff too. Donica Putinski gets a little bit more at the Russian stuff. So I'm still going to call him Donica Putinski, although I totally appreciate and respect people who call him Pedoff. Pedoff is the perfect name. Like, I just didn't make it up. I made up Donica Putinski. I didn't make up Pedoff. So I got a dog in this fight. I'm the one who says net and YouTube too, yeah. I say net and YouTube. I say Trump, Putin, Netanyahu. Trump, Putin, Netanyahu. All one word. It's all the same evil. So I say Trump, Putin, Netanyahu. I call them Trump Putineers. Trump Putineers because it rhymes with mutineers. They betrayed democracy in America and stuff. So Trump Putineers. Net and YouTube. I call it Fashbook. I call it Twitler. I call it Trump Talk. So yeah, those are all words I came up with. So. Yay. Yay me. So right now we're doing Mark Kelly for president, okay? Do you guys know Mark Kelly? So some of the reasons Mark Kelly should be president. His wife is actually saved by the goddess from an actual terrorist gun attack. Not the misser, not a crisis actor, not a fake, not a ruse, not a psyop, none of that. And actually saved by the actual goddess. Not saved by a fake god from a fake assassination attempt by the misser, by a crisis actor. So are you in California? I'm over here in Cedar City, Utah, but I grew up in Las Vegas. No, I'm not in California. I've been to California. It's nice. But I'm glad you asked about California, because it reminds me of another reason Mark Kelly will be our president. Do you notice the white man that I mentioned will be our next president? Mark Kelly. Do you notice the white man that I did not mention will be our next president? Gavin Newsom. He's a fucking traitor. Like, we're sick as shit of Gavin Newsom. Okay? Mark Kelly might actually have all the same flaws that Gavin Newsom has. That he's protecting the genocide, things like that. He might have that, but I'm not aware of it yet, so I'm down. Like, I don't care. Like, he's not Gavin Newsom, who has rubbed it in our faces that he's going to glaze Ben Shapiro over trying to actually get our votes. So fuck Gavin Newsom. He's a traitor. We need to be moved on from any consideration of Gavin Newsom. They're still going to probably try to foist Gavin Newsom on us. But we need to be moved on from any consideration of Gavin Newsom. And the best way to do that is Mark Kelly. Don't have a problem with Gavin Newsom being a white man. Mark Kelly's a white man. That's fine. So Mark Kelly. Now again, Mark Kelly might have some of the same flaws as Gavin Newsom, but I'm not aware of them yet. I'm aware of all the flaws Gavin Newsom has, and he's invalid. He has no potential pathway to the presidency. Mark Kelly, however, does. Mark Kelly has a wide and powerful pathway to the presidency. He's the husband of a near martyr. He's a husband of someone that they shot, like they shot Renee Nicole Good. Like he's a husband, he's the husband of an actual martyr who the goddess actually saved, from miraculously saved. Donica Patinsky was not miraculously saved. Donica Patinsky had a crisis actor, the misser, shoot a teleprompter and a fireman. Donica Patinsky, had a ketchup packet or whatever. Donica Patinsky did not have the will of God preserving him, but Gabby Giffords did have the goddess preserving her. And Mark Kelly, maybe for this purpose. So Mark Kelly is the perfect candidate to defeat Trump. Again, I personally support Jasmine Crockett, but the Democrats have got Jasmine Crockett settled on a Senate seat, and they're still not even letting her have that. They're diminishing Jasmine Crockett. AOC, she's had a couple of flaws lately. She could also easily become president. Cardi B, I think, could easily become president. A celebrity could become president. We should not rule out any celebrity who wants to run and represent the will of the American people. But Mark Kelly, if we're going for a politician and if we're going for a white man, it's Mark Kelly, not Gavin Newsom, by a long shot. Like, Mark Kelly's considering it. I don't know that Gavin Newsom has even said he's considering it yet. I think everybody's considering that he's considering it, but I don't know if he's made that statement. Mark Kelly has said he's considering it. So we need to encourage Mark Kelly to run, because Mark Kelly, if he starts running now, he can be defeating Trump along the way. He can be keeping Trump busy and keeping Trump from kidnapping people, keeping Trump from starting wars. He can be saving America along the way in the campaign. And he can use my campaign pitch for Jasmine Crockett or AOC, which is stop paying your medical bills, or stop paying your insurance, send all your medical bills to the White House, and send me to the White House to pay them universal health care. Mark Kelly running for president. I used to say Jasmine Crockett running for president after I made that quote, but now I'll just change it to Mark Kelly running for president. This guy's really triggered. This Trump boutonniere in comments is so fucking triggered. Truth Hurts 00777. So it's like you picked the name Truth Hurts 00777. You're probably British or some shit, so it literally doesn't affect you. It's not your choice anyway. It's not your country. But you're like, what the hell does that have to do with it? So why don't you want his damn wife to run then? Why'd you have to call it her his damn wife? You're really upset that the murder attempt didn't go through. Some of us feel that way about the misser. Some of us feel like the misser was a crisis actor. If he'd been an American, like, we didn't even cheer on the misser because we knew he was a crisis actor. Bong Toker says, I think Vance has a good chance to be honest, patriotic, well-spoken, and isn't 90. No, dude, Vance has no chance. Prance and Vance? Vance can prance. Vance can prance his way out of here. Now, Vance will probably end up in jail. Like, Vance doesn't have a future. Was he supposed to marry Erica Kirk or something? Like, Vance doesn't have a future. Vance is trash. Vance called Trump America's Hitler, but it was an endorsement. So some of the Hitler types, some of the Nazi types that support Trump are going to be suspicious of Vance because he did once call Trump America's Hitler and seemed to be a criticism. It was an endorsement. But even the full-fledged Nazis that support Trump, with their Roman salutes, they're not going to support Vance. I mean, he's going to try to Nazi it up. He's going to try to be as Nazi as Trump, but he won't succeed. Like, he won't have the support. Vance is a moot point, okay? When you impeach Trump, you also impeach Vance and the rest of the cabinet. You impeach all of them. You impeach Mike Johnson, too. That's why we're talking about President Grassley. President Grassley becomes the president if they don't move up the election or do a military coup or something. President Grassley becomes the president. Are you guys really stoked about President Grassley? So President Grassley will be easy for Mark Kelly to beat. President Grassley would be easy for anybody to beat, but Mark Kelly, there's some good things about having Mark Kelly be our president. And we should talk about that. We should be encouraging Mark Kelly to run for president because he's American, because he's anti-Trump, because he's already gotten the ire of Trump. Trump's already trying to prosecute him with fake charges and stuff just for telling people they don't have to obey Trump's illegal orders. Greetings, Squirrel Sniper. Ex-Prince had different birthday parties today. I take it news travels. Had a different birthday. Today was his birthday too? See, I didn't hear that. We did hear that Andrew, ex-Prince, got arrested, which is awesome. I mean, are you going to interrogate him? Are you going to get some information out of him, say about Trump, that, they can keep trying to hide the files in America, but people can talk. Now, think about how Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are making headlines saying, we want our deposition released. Well, you still have mouths. Like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton can just tell us what they said, but they're not telling us. So they're trying to take that stance of, we want all this to be released because we know and trust that the Republicans will protect us and won't release it. So take Bill and Hillary Clinton in. Trump called for the arrest of Bill Clinton 2 or 3 months ago, but he hasn't done it. He's kidnapped Kilmar Abrego Garcia 2 or 3 times in the time since he's called for the arrest of Bill Clinton, but he won't do it. So they're playing you. Donna Kupetinsky is playing you. The Epstein class is playing you. And how long are you going to have that Epstein class flag? How long are you going to have that Epstein class bumper sticker? How long are you going to have that Epstein class hat? Welcome to the Fair Liberation Front, by the way. His 66th 8 a.m. by surprise. What does that mean? Oh, his 66th birthday. At 8 a.m. they arrested him. So it was a birthday surprise. It was a surprise party. Dude, the radicals on both sides don't suck. Okay, there's some fake leftists who claim to be leftists, but they're not, and they suck. Sure, they suck. Real leftists on the left are all cooler than living shit. That's how you know. If you're listening to a real leftist, they're super fucking cool, and you agree with everything they say. Some fake leftists muck it up, and the extremists on the right and the more moderates on the right and the centrists and the more moderates they're all the same problem. It's only the left. The left are the only Americans left. Just get it through your head. Listen to a real leftist, not a fake one, and you'll be good. And you can't be called bong toker and talking this both sides bullshit, dude. You make weed smokers look bad and stupid. Don't do that. The Truth Hurt says the files that were released looks like the invitation list to a Democrat fundraiser. Dude, yeah, the files they released 1% of the files, the ones with Democrats in them. They held back the 99% of the files, the ones with Republicans in them. I can't do your math for you. The fact that you're too stupid to do math, that you're too stupid to understand anything, that's not my problem. You just shouldn't be here. I'll know in the future never to read your comments again. So, Mark Kelly for president. We got some people triggered by that. We got some people trying to distract. We got some people, just Russians. We got Russians. But Mark Kelly for president, okay? I personally think Jasmine Crockett should be running for president, but there's 4 things against that. One is the Democratic Party. They got to run in for Senate instead. She could run for Senate and then president, but just go ahead and run for president. Although I guess it's important for her to become Senate, or they wouldn't have drummed up that weirdo to run against her. Okay, so when you say 75% of the files have been released, and that accounts for Trump being mentioned 38,000 times. In the 75% that's been released, aside from the redactions, Trump's still in them 38,000 times. So 6M files, they gatekeep us by saying they're half of them, and that's all we're getting. One huge thing's against Crockett. Now, see that you're a racist. Okay, Crockett's like smarter than the entire Republican Party put together, like all of them. If all of them, if every Republican in the country had like a, you know, a device, a computer or something that they could take a quiz against Jasmine Crockett, Jasmine Crockett would defeat all of you, every single one of you. If even one of you got the right answer, Jasmine Crockett would still get the right answer more than all of you put together. That's how much smarter than you she is. So Jasmine Crockett is the biggest threat to Trump. Mark Kelly is not the biggest threat to Trump, but he's up there. He's a bigger threat than Gavin Newsom. You know, Trump hasn't tried to arrest Gavin Newsom. He's tried to arrest Mark Kelly. So Mark Kelly's up there. Mark Kelly could be nearly as big a threat to Trump as Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett is the biggest threat to Trump, and you know that because she's the one he talks about the most. Yeah, this stream is a cult. This stream is the Barack Obama cult for the Broncos and Obama for leftists. This stream is the Church of Judas to replace all patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism. This stream is the Fairy Liberation Front, where we wear these elf hats to protest Nazis, to end Nazism. This stream is the Pillow Revolution, a non-violent revolution we do from bed to overthrow all tyrants worldwide. This stream is the Ultraviolet Lions cult, the cultish spiritual side of the Lions Society. This stream is the Peace Pipe Party for herbs and peace as the main priorities for politics, to rally around good political people. What else is it? Unicopia. It's the unicorn cult, the true unicorn cult. Barack Obama cult. It's called Barack Obama cult. Watermelon hat. Oh yeah, it's got a watermelon on it. Barack Obama cult. So there's about 7 cults going on here, at least. There's also the quantum sex cults. I originated quantum sex cults, but quantum sex cults are completely individually tailored. Barack Obama cult. Yeah, it's all one word. Hashtag Barack Obama cult. We got the Broncos almost to the Super Bowl this year. We will win the Super Bowl next year. Barack Obama cult. Just try the hashtag Barack Obama cult. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Mark Kelly for president. I mean, Barack Obama cult obviously will help Mark Kelly for president too, because we're the Barack Obama cult. I mean, shit, we could run Mitt Romney for president, okay? Like, Democrats could run Mitt Romney for president. Like, literally, don't care at this point, you know? The main cult. The Mawa cult. What's the Mawa cult? Make America worse again? Is that what you guys call people that aren't traitors? You call Americans Mawa? Does it stand for Make America Worse Again? You guys are all bait for real people. Sorry about the Nazi Trump mutineers in chat. If you're just coming in, just ignore them. Like, you can talk to them if you want, but they're really just bait for real people to come in, for like main characters to arrive. Anyway, we're talking about Mark Kelly for president here. Mark Kelly for president. And I think the main things we need to mention about Mark Kelly: husband of Gabby Giffords, who actually survived an actual terrorist attack. Not a crisis actor, not the misser, not a fake assassination attempt, but an actual assassination attempt. The goddess actually saved her life miraculously to return at this time as the First Lady, Gabby Giffords. So Gabby Giffords will be our First Lady. Mark Kelly will represent the gun control community and the gun community, since Donna Kupatinsky murdered Alex Preddy. We'll be getting all the 2A people into the Democrats, since the NRA has turned against Trump. The NRA will be voting Democrat, and Mark Kelly will be a great person as a gun owner, as a gun rights advocate, as well as a gun control advocate. Mark Kelly will be a great person to wear that circle, or I don't know, I forget the phrase, to do that. You get dudes like this when real men aren't in households. So that's really scary. That's really scary. You seem to be acting like Lynch 420. And first of all, you don't get to have 420 in your name. Peace Pipe Party has rejected your application to have 420 in your name. Undercloud Railroad, that's another one we do. You joined 17 years ago. The funny thing about you is you joined 17 years ago. You have a 17-year-old YouTube channel. You have 7 subscribers, so you've never posted any content ever. We know from that right there that you've never posted content. Or if you did post content, it was the worst thing anyone ever saw. This is why you have 7 subscribers in 17 years. Now, you don't really need to make an excuse for yourself. There is none. You're a Trump boutonniere. No one will ever miss you or care about what you would have said. I mean, it would be worse if you had posted things. I'll put it that way. Since you're a Trump boutonniere, it'd be worse if anybody had to see your content in any form other than a comment, which are easily ignorable, mutable. Like, your opinion doesn't matter. We can hear what Putin wants people to say from any of hundreds of other Trump boutonnieres in 2026. There shouldn't be that many, but there are hundreds of you. And it's pathetic and sad. And there'll be less and less, and the ones that are left will be really embarrassed. You should be really embarrassed to be in that group to begin with. Bong Tucker, you can stop talking. Yeah, because you're trolls. Like, you're not people. You're trolls. You've made yourselves not people by being trolls. I've been on TikTok, okay? On TikTok, if people don't have content, no one would ever listen to them because everybody has content on TikTok. Yeah, some people's content is just video games. They're trolls. But they have to post video game content or no one will ever take them seriously. Yeah, Net and YouTube doesn't have that standard. People are very accustomed to nothing but trolls on Net and YouTube. But they captured TikTok. They destroyed TikTok. TikTok refugees will be coming back to Net and YouTube. We will have decent people to talk to. Yeah, we don't have anybody decent to talk to now. You're all Trump boutonnieres. Like, you don't matter. But we will have decent people to talk to in the future. So, and those people can see this live. Putin is whack. Here we go. We have a good spirit in chat. We have a human or an American or somebody good. Thanks for being here, Dead Man System. Apologize for the Nazis as usual. Topic of the live today is Mark Kelly for president. Are you familiar with Mark Kelly? Fuck Trump. Okay, fuck Trump, Putin, Netanyahu. That's baseline. Okay, you know Mark Kelly. You know he might be running for president. I think we should be starting to talk about Mark Kelly for president as soon as we can, which is right now. He said 2 or 3 days ago he's thinking about running for president. So I think we need to say, yes, Mark Kelly, we support you for president. We want you to prioritize these things. Impeach, remove, execute Trump. Oh my gosh. Apologize for the Trump boutonniere, dude. I read their comments, but only because there aren't enough human comments. As a human, or any type of good spirit, if you want to comment, your comments outweigh 50, 100 to 1,000 Trumpers' comments. One human's comments defeat 1,000 Trumpers' comments. Or at least 500, at least 100. So if you want to defeat some Trumpers, they're in here. Just leave a comment. It can be an emoji. You can just leave an emoji or a reaction, and you've defeated all these Trumpers in comments. So, well done. My thing is, though, I feel like they're not real Nazis. Okay, but have you ever heard the Kurt Vonnegut quote, "You are what you pretend to be"? So they're pretending to be Nazis, but they're not the real Nazis. No, they're Nazis. Anybody who's willing to pretend to be a Nazi when we have a Nazi regime in America destroying everything, they're Nazi enough. They're Nazi enough to, let's say, have their parents' houses taken away. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you support a terrorist network, they can take all your property. Just like if you support, drug dealing or something, they can take all of your property. So just because these might be children who shouldn't be in this live anyway. I mean, the one with a 17-year-old account is not a child. But, just because they live with their parents, even if they're 46 years old, just because they live with their parents doesn't mean their parents' house can't be taken away. Their parents' house should be taken away because they're supporting a terrorist network with pro-terrorist comments. Oh, they're Nazis. Yeah. Well, aren't you one? Truth hurts. Let's look at Truth Hurts comment and determine whether or not they're a Nazi. It's their first time in the live. Oh yeah, they're a Nazi. I didn't have to even read half of one comment. Yeah, Truth Hurts is a Nazi. So Nazi hunters can use the chats in this live to hunt down Nazis for the rest of their lives, because that's how Nazi hunters roll. And yeah, so there's that. Back to the subject at hand. Actually, we'll probably shut down the live unless we get some good people in here commenting. Deadman System, are you still here? Hello? Anyone who's not a Nazi? If you're not a Nazi, go ahead and react or put something in chat. I'll wait like 30 seconds. Okay. Still here. Thanks for being here. Okay, so Mark Kelly for president. Jasmine Crockett should be president, but, you know, the platforms have duped many black people into resting. The platforms have duped many leftists into being racist and being against Jasmine Crockett. That's pretty much it. Those are the main problems. The Democrats are a big problem. The Democrats have Jasmine Crockett settling for a Senate seat instead of the presidency. That's an obstacle. Democrats are an obstacle. And then the other obstacle is racism. You know, racism is really the other obstacle. If only you knew what they looked like. Definitely not the Nazi. Dude, you're a Nazi. The way you look just means the Nazis have cleverly gotten someone off-brand to look like... Dude, like, stop. Let's just talk about why Bong Toker 8 is a Nazi. Okay? Bong Toker 8 says things like this. You've been here before. You said you're not a Nazi, and you do appreciate saying that in YouTube. You've been here a lot. You've been here a bunch of times. Like, you've been here for more... Yeah, you said things like, wow, this is really some TDS. You're a Nazi. Like, dude, you've been here for hundreds of comments. I was about to start reading some of them, but you just said TDS, so you're a Nazi. Like, that's it, dude. It's not hard. You just put on a TDS armband. You did a TDS Roman salute. Like, you're a Nazi. Sorry. But the thing is, you're enough... you're Blick. You're not a black woman. Shut the fuck up. Dude, you're a porch MAGA? You're a porch MAGA. You really are a porch MAGA. So you're bragging about being a porch MAGA. Oh my God. You're not a black woman. Oh my God. I hate these fucking dumbass LARPing Trump-ootneers. Is a black woman? You're not a fucking black woman. You're not convincing as a black woman. Okay? LARP is something different, you dumbass fucking Russian. You're not convincing as a black woman at all. You're not giving any black woman anything. Like, you're a fucking Russian. Like, you in order to be... Did you just call me a porch MAGA? I called you a porch MAGA. You know how Trump doesn't have any problem calling the Obamas monkeys? So you cannot have any problem with someone calling you a porch MAGA. Yeah, you're a porch MAGA. You don't have any problem with Obama calling with Trump calling the Obamas monkeys. So you're a porch MAGA. You're a MAGA that they keep on the porch. You fucking dirty, traitorous piece of shit. That's why I didn't vote in facts. Well, I mean, it was hard to vote for Kamala and her genocide. But I did. I voted for Kamala and her genocide instead of Donna Kupetinsky and his worst genocides. And I told people that, you know, you got to vote for Kamala and her genocide to avoid Donna Kupetinsky's worst genocides. They traded a landslide for a genocide. Biden made 3 major crimes. He didn't arrest Trump. He didn't stop the genocide. And he didn't release the Epstein files. I'm sorry, are all those 3 the same crime? How can a president do that to anyone, president with the Obama thing? Well, he's a racist piece of shit. That's why I can call his supporters porch MAGA, because they know what it means, but they're racist pieces of shit too. So they know it applies to them. Porch MAGA, house slaves. Bong Toker tries to speak. Bong Toker says the Obama and Mike Monkey thing. The Obama and Mike Monkey thing? What? The Obama and Mike Monkey thing was hilarious. You have to admit. No, calling you a porch MAGA is hilarious, you porch MAGA bitch. Suck it, you porch MAGA bitch. Just like your god baby, Donica Putinsky, sucked Bill fucking Clinton. I'm coming for you, Donnie. I'm coming for you, Donnie. I'm coming for you. Hold on, let me get that thumb smaller. I'm coming for you, Donnie. I'm coming for you, Donnie. That's your god baby. Or that's your god baby's sex partner, Bill Clinton. I'm coming for you, Donnie. Yeah, hey, you black bitch. You porch MAGA bitch. You wanted to be a black woman in this chat? Oh, you wanted to be a black woman? Fucking porch MAGA piece of shit. Deadman, I'm obviously not a black lady, you dumbass. You're just the one who claimed to be a... Let's read all their comments for a second. This is going to be hilarious. Let's read all Bong Toker's comments. Howdy. Vladimir Fulton. I like when you say net in YouTube. Gavin Newsom. I think Vance has a good chance. To be honest, patriotic, well-spoken, and isn't 90 years old. The radicals on both sides suck. We need to get back on track as a country. This is how fucking Nazi centrists are. No, the radicals suck. People have made politics their entire personality, and it's pathetic. Jasmine Crockett? What? WTF? You got to be trolling right now. Please tell us you're joking. The Obama Broncos? Wow, nice watermelon hat guy. Bronco Obama? Only Nazis call people Nazis. No, I've not made content either. There's definitely more channels with people not making content than ones that do. Grown men on TikTok. Only Nazi here is you. What will you lunatics do when Trump is gone? Will you guys obsess over? Who will you think about every day, all day long? If only you knew what I look like, LOL, definitely not a Nazi. I'm a black woman, so I don't appreciate the racism towards me. Did you just call me a porch monkey? I called you a porch MAGA. The Obama and Mike Monkey thing was hilarious. I'm going to express offense at being called monkey, but say it's hilarious when someone else called monkey. The Obama and Mike Monkey thing was hilarious. You have to admit, you lefties don't know correctly. Oh, you lefties don't know comedy. Now, you're the people who try to say Trump lives rent-free. Dude, that's an AOC joke. AOC lives rent-free in your head. It's an AOC joke. It doesn't become funny to make it a joke about a bartender, about a pedophile. That doesn't become funny. That takes the funny away. Didman, I'm obviously not a black lady, you dumbass. Maybe I'm going to call you Porch MAGA anyway. Hello, Joseph Bearpaw. Thanks for being here. We're talking about Mark Kelly as president. And we're making fun of Porch MAGA. Talking about Mark Kelly as president. White guy. Yeah, the toboggan's supposed to represent the Norway thing that the Norway people wore to defy the Nazis. So, it's the closest. I don't have that type of toboggan, so I put that thing on there to represent the tassel. Mark would be a great one. See, we got an American in chat. Now we're talking. Mark would be a great president. Mark's already pissed Trump off. Mark should get revenge on Trump. I think Mark would be someone we can trust to execute Trump, Vance, Johnson, Alito, Thomas, Barrett, Kavanaugh, Roberts. Thank you, Song Toker. Wait, no, you're Bong Toker. I thought you were somebody new. We don't want you, dude. Yeah, free Palestine, but not like this. Not with people like you. Dude, don't ever come back. Don't ever go on the internet again. Like, trolls are so worthless, dude. You're just bait. You're bait for actual people. That's the only reason you're here. And you're here to carry the curses back to Trump and Putin and Netanyahu. I'm going to curse you. I'm cursing Trump and Putin and Netanyahu. No, dude, we're not friends. You liked me saying that in YouTube, so you're a Nazi. Like, we verified. You're against Jasmine Crockett, so you're a racist piece of shit. You liked me saying that in YouTube, so you're a Nazi. You probably don't support Charlie Kirk. You probably support Nick Fuentes. You fuckers are so fucking obvious. And Nick Fuentes even hates you. That motherfucker might have got laid or something, but he's turned on his groypers. You guys are being abandoned, actively being abandoned by your daddies. They're going to get the cigarettes right now. Nick Fuentes is, going to the store. That's it. And Nicki Minaj Fuentes, Tyronika Biggums, she's done. She's toast. She's cooked. Her album's not going to sell. She's going to be on OnlyFans. We did you a favor, like Emiru. They're going to be on OnlyFans. We did you... Black man here. Black man. Dude, I'm sorry. The people who announce themselves as black on the internet, dude, that's Russian as fuck. That's so damn Russian. No, we're talking about Mark Kelly for president. What the hell is ICE jurisdiction? That sounds like some bullshit. ICE jurisdiction should be cell block 3. They should be like, ICE should be cleaning up the cell block or cleaning up the detention center. We should put them in the camps they made for us. Deport the deporters. Is there a black person here? I'm sorry. If there's a black person here, like, great. It's just highly doubtful. Okay. Sorry about the Nazis in chat. They're just bait. Sorry about the Nazis. I'm not really a Midwesterner. I'm kind of a Midwesterner. I lived in Missouri for a while. It is a cheesehead. I mean, I support the Packers, but this is really more of a we beat the Packers thing. 2 genders. We'll put you in 2 gender camps in Siberia. When we catapult y'all's asses off Sarah Palin's porch to Siberia, we're going to have one catapult aimed at the camp there for one gender, and we're going to have the other catapult aimed at the camp way over there for the other gender, according to you guys. You guys are going to get to pick your 2 genders, and you're going to get to go to one of those camps, and there will be no visitations. Put you guys in the camps you made for us. So, Mark Kelly for president. We're talking Mark Kelly for president. Outlaw. What do you think about Mark Kelly for president? Nice to see you guys. We got Americans in the chat now. Every American comment defeats hundreds of Trump Putineers comments. Hundreds of Trump Putineers come in here without ever doing anything other than carrying curses back to Trump, Putin, and Netanyahu. Because I curse the fucking Trump Putineers, and I curse Trump and Putin and Netanyahu through you. And then the good people are going to be here. Mark Kelly has integrity. Ray, we have another human, another American in chat. Yeah, we're going to send you guys to camp. We're going to put you guys in the camps you made for us. Golden rule, bitches. Putting y'all in the camps you made for us. Automatic citizenship for everyone ICE contacts. Life in prison for all ICE and all their enablers. That goes for a lot of you guys. We might have filled some beds just from this chat. What's Outlaw have to say? And Joseph Bearpaw. We got some Americans in chat. The rest of y'all can shut the fuck up. Mark Kelly 2028. Yeah, I think Mark Kelly's running. I think he should start running now. Start taking Trump down now on the campaign trail. I really am black. Dude, you're not black. You said to somebody else, you really thought that was black? Dude, like, you're a troll. You don't count. Joseph Bearpaw says, Don was just doing exactly what actual reporters actually do. Oh, was somebody bringing up Don Lemon? Dude, Don Lemon's an American hero. If you're mad about Don Lemon, get the fuck out. You don't belong here, bitch. Don Lemon is the hero. Thank you, BJ. We got some humans in chat. Who would Washington hang? Who would George Washington hang? Like, he would hang the traitors. He would hang the Trump Putineers. Who would Washington hang? WWWH. Who would Washington hang? Check out the hashtag Who Would Washington Hang? WWWH. Check out the hashtag Pillow Revolution. Why don't you like Don Lemon? Don Lemon's cool. Don Lemon's an American hero. But let's talk about it. Why don't you like Don Lemon? I won't get mad. Sorry, if I missed your comment and you're American, put an emoji in chat. I'm not understanding this comment very well. Bro, you checked Iran? What? Everybody loves Don Lemon. Don Lemon's an American hero. Love for Don Lemon. Let's all just have some love for Don Lemon for a second here. Yeah, ironically, bringing up Don Lemon as somehow anti-American reporter. All they did is rally everybody who says Don Lemon's cool. Everybody who puts lemons in the chat. We know they're an American. No, we don't. No, he's not. No, he's not. They're so mad about Don Lemon. Don Lemon's black. The person who LARPed as a black person for 3 comments and then said, did you really believe I was black? Is saying Don Lemon isn't black. Now, I'm probably the most American person here, honestly. I feel like Outlaw's American. I know Outlaw's American. I'm getting the impression Dead Man System might be American. I think the protest was bad, gave bad propaganda and publicity, and wasn't done the right way. Well, you're an idiot. You might be an American, but you're an idiot. Don Lemon didn't do the protest. Don Lemon covered the protest. So whatever your issue with the protest is, it has nothing to do with Don Lemon. Ah, so crazy. Mark Kelly is the husband of Gabby Giffords. She's the survivor of an actual terrorist attack, not a fake terrorist attack like the Misser. Not a terrorist who just shot a firefighter in a teleprompter, you know, not and then got killed. Not a crisis actor, not a fake assassin like the Misser, a real assassin. Really shot Gabby Giffords, and she really survived. The real goddess saved her life, really, not the fake god saving a fake president fakely by having the Misser, a crisis actor, pretend to shoot him, actually kill a fireman in a teleprompter instead. Not that, but a real assassin. That's one thing he is. He's also an astronaut. He's also an American. He's also a senator. He's also an anti-Trump person. So he's the right person. Pray for Savannah Guthrie's mom. Well, you got to stop the kidnappers. I mean, which kidnappers do y'all want to stop? The Trumpers who kidnap kids and their parents and stuff? The Trumpers who kidnap the parents of Savannah Guthrie to do a terrorist attack on the First Amendment? Sorry about it. Yeah, Trump for jail. Thank you, BJ. I'm glad you're here, BJ. Sorry I haven't read all your comments yet. Let me read all your comments, BJ, because you have made some good contributions. Don Lemon is the hero. Trump is the crook. I love Don Lemon. American here. Don is a journalist for the dummies. Don is a journalist for all the dummies in the back. Trump for jail. Mark Kelly is a hero too. Yeah, Mark Kelly says he might run for president. So I'm going with that. I am scaring all these Trumpers with a white man, American hero, astronaut, senator, running for president, hates Trump, will execute Trump. Okay, that should be his campaign promise. I will execute Trump. Day one. Ain't going to be no bullshit Mueller report bullshit. Execute Trump day one. Not 100 days, day one. First day I take office, executing Trump. That's a Mark Kelly campaign promise I bet you can take to the bank. You want songs? Okay. Do you remember the FBI on a meth bender? Cash was changing Tyler's roommate's gender while they helped the Groypers get away. Do you remember the FBI on a meth bender? Cash was changing Tyler's roommate's gender while they helped the Groypers get away. Do you remember? I'll give you another one. Cash Patel, nobody believes your story. You're just Pateling on yourself. Cash Patel, your lies are really Civil War-y. No one believes the stupid bullshit you spew. Sorry, I messed that one up. I'll do it again. Cash Patel, nobody believes your story. You're just Pateling on yourself. Cash Patel, your lies are really Civil War-y. Chat KGB writes the stupid bullshit you spew. Cash Patel is a dumbass, though. Yeah, Cash Patel is a dumbass. You know who else is a dumbass? Fucking Putin. You know who else is a dumbass? Donica Putinsky. You know who else is a dumbass? I am a singer. Thanks, catchy electro music. Check out my band Foxen. I'll sing you a real song. This is a Foxen song. It goes like this. I know this fellow always has something to say. You're not the one to tell you night from day. And now he's in your town, there's going to be a way. Just go through him to get out of the gray. In these days we're all astray. Amazing, in these nights when all the graves are raves. Who's to say it's all a play? We're gazing worlds away as we fly through the waves. I like this girl, she wants me to turn it in. She asked me where all of my life has been. We never met, just felt that look, and then I wanted to turn out all that lies within. In these days we're all astray, amazing. In these nights when all the graves are raves, who's to say it's all a play? We're gazing worlds away as we fly through the waves. Since you... Oh, I remind you of Willy Wonka now? You should wait and see my hair. Since you support Ukraine, I'll sing you this one. Put that Russian bear to bed before the people want your head on a pike. We don't like tyrants who strike at our neighbors and waste all our labors. Put that Russian bear to bed before the people want your head in a basket. Don't ask it, we won't try to mask it. No one's rooting for you, Putin. Put that Russian bear to bed before the people want your head. Your rhetoric doesn't line up with Antifa. I don't like Trump either, but your rhetoric does not line up with Antifa. So how is my rhetoric out of step with Antifa? Let me know. Let me know how my rhetoric is out of step with Antifa. I probably will need it for a defense. Why don't you like Trump? Thank you. 82-year-old fan, or 62 years old fan. Thank you. You're handsome too. I'm glad you're here. You respond to fascism with more fascism. I say put them in the camps they made for us. They didn't have to make the camps. We didn't have to have camps. They're going to make the camps, put them in there. Put them in the camps they made for us. Oh, is that too much for you? Oh, does that hurt your feelings? Who will think of the fascists? Who will think of the fascists? Oh, you sorry little bitch. Let's look at your content. Let's look at your Antifa verified. Let's look at your Antifa gatekeeper content. Oh, the gatekeeper of Antifa says, dude, said Mark Kelly for president. LMAO. He really thinks Mark Kelly or Cardi B would ever be president. LOL. That's even more ridiculous than Trump. Bro is not mentally well. I don't like Trump either, but your rhetoric doesn't line up with Antifa. You respond to fascism with more fishes. Sorry, fucking idiots. Trump mutineers are Space Force in the streets, Flat Earth in the sheets. How does Zelensky dance? I'm doing the Zelensky dance. Doing the Zelensky dance. I'm not Muslim yet, no. Oh no, cocaine, problem. Problem, cocaine, problem. Zelensky uses coke, and they're like, that's the own. Oh, we got him there, and we got, oh, Zelensky uses coke. Dude. Have you seen Don Jr.? Have you seen Don Jr.? Have you seen Erica Kirk? You don't get those eyes from Jesus. You don't get those eyes from Jesus, I'll tell you that much. Epstein was your math teacher? I am a basketball American, and your watermelon hat is what brought me here. Oh my God, this was the person who said they were a black woman not long ago. Porch MAGA piece of shit. Anyway, thanks for being here. We're supporting Mark Kelly for president. We're really supporting Jasmine Crockett for president. Shh. But we're supporting Mark Kelly for president. Yay! White guy. White guy, Mark Kelly for president. We're really supporting Jasmine Crockett for president. Shh. It's a secret. Erica Kirk is a demon. Erica Kirk is a crazy piece of shit. Crazy Trump mutineer piece of shit. You look like an AI... But Erica Kirk and Candace Owens, they're low-level Nazis. Like, let's aim higher. You look like an AI depiction of a kid who got kidnapped at their local Charlie Kirk event after being told they had drugs. That's kind of creepy. Do you kidnap kids at Circle K? Like, that's a weird self-own. That's a weird telling on yourself there, bro. Hello. These losers, the greatest insult they've been able to come up with is a taco. No, I call him Donaku Patinsky. Pet off is hilarious. Everyone's calling him Pet off now. Pete off. Pet off. Pet off is hilarious. I call him Donaku Patinsky. I'm still voting for Donaku Patinsky. I think Donaku Patinsky is also hilarious. But I'll admit, dude, Pet off is probably better than Donaku Patinsky. I call him Donaku Patinsky because it fits. It brings up the Epstein stuff. It brings up sucking Bill Clinton's dick. And it brings up the fact that he's Putin's little bitch. But Petoff is pretty punchy. Petoff kind of covers it. Petoff is pretty, because he's a Nazi, but he's also a pedophile. So Petoff is really kind of knocking it out of the park. But yeah, Petoff is good. Donica Patinsky, I think, really is a honorable mention. And you're bringing up Taco, dude. Taco's okay, but Petoff and Donica Patinsky, we're talking top-notch nicknames. BJT is another one. If this was a pro-Trump live stream, he would already have 1.7 thousand likes. That's disgusting. I mean, you're probably right, but that's disgusting because I do get 90% Nazis in here. Net and YouTube, blame Net and YouTube. We Muslims are forever grateful to all the left and Democratic voters. We're grateful for you Muslims too. Thank you, Muslims. We love Muslims. One thing we love is Muslims. If we love anything, it's Muslims. Muslims are so beloved and loving. And every time I get Muslims in the chat, they're always super nice and loving. And I love that. And I love Islam for that. Because Muslims are always representing themselves really well as nice, good people. Christians are often complete fucking Nazi pieces of shit. So I think we have a very clear evidence that Islam is a far superior religion to Christianity, as it stands today. Thankfully, Jesus has Judas set aside to replace all Christianity with the Church of Judas. Real Muslims are not fundamentalist extremist fanatics. I mean, there probably are some, but just like they're not real Christians. These extremist fanatics are all antichrist losers. His name is Muhammad. You worship the pedophile Trump. That's so funny. You're saying that the people that they worship is a pedophile, but you worship the pedophile Trump. So are you working your way up to what you... Anyway. Yeah, the Church of Judas. Check out the hashtag Church of Judas. It replaces all Christianity. Yeah, I'm a very smart guy, definitely not a loser. Thank you. Tell me who's Judas. Judas is the one that Jesus set aside outside of Christianity. Judas isn't responsible for any of the evil stuff Christianity did because he's outside of Christianity. But he comes back at this time and he replaces all the Christian churches. Too bad I've only got 2 more minutes of the live stream, so I'll do the Judas blessing for you guys. Goddess bless you, Mary bless you, Mary bless you, Mary bless you, Jesus bless you, Judas bless you, I bless you, and bless yourself. But yeah, just check out the hashtag Church of Judas. Yes, there is. Does St. Paul have a seat at the table in Catholics' beliefs? Oh, an interesting question. So yeah, Judas replaces all Christianity. All Christianity gets replaced by Judas. Yeah, I'm not claiming to know about Islam. I just know it's better than Christianity because Christianity was a trap religion. Christianity was designed to trap a bunch of assholes, and it succeeded in that. Most of the assholes in the world are Christians. So Christianity traps a bunch of assholes, and then Judas comes in and replaces the church and turns those assholes into good people. Okay, so we got a Nazi in here doing Roman salutes to Trump, but we're going to go ahead and shut it down. That's a good cue to stop when the Nazi shows up. Doing his Roman salutes to Trump that YouTube is hiding. Either you follow the historical facts or you're trying to manipulate the historical facts. Okay. So we'll shut it down. We've already gone an hour, which is longer than I expected. But Mark Kelly for president. I'll make some more content about it. Talk to y'all soon. Comment on the content. See you guys later. Peace to you as well, BJ. So nice to meet you. Welcome. And hopefully see you again soon. Or comment on the content. We'll stay in touch. Peace to you as well.